Filmmaking gear is essential to telling any great story, but I hate when it gets in the way. I've bought so much useless gear. This is why I've simplified what I've used over the years. These are 9 things that I always use and I wish I bought sooner. I've left the best thing for last, a small piece of equipment that has revolutionized how I shoot. But let's start with the lens. I have many lenses, a wide variety of them, but if I could choose only one, it is the Canon 24-105 L series lens. This is such a great lens and I use it for every freaking project. And I've broken one time, but I dropped it, so it was probably my fault. But outside of that, this lens has treated me so well since my first documentary, Zero Silence. This is never leaving my kit. And if you want to learn how to make any camera look like a Hollywood camera, then I've created a free cheat sheet that you can download. Just check it out, the link is in the description. Yeah, but next on the list is batteries. Now, batteries aren't the most sexy thing, but they're essential. And I wish I would have bought a big type of battery sooner. Now, it has to be a certain size to be able to travel with though, on airplanes. And depending on what camera you have, it will dictate what battery you choose. I shoot mostly on the Blackmagic Pocket Cinema 4K, so I use the Sony NP series batteries. I think a big battery is a security as well. Not running out of battery at a critical moment in your shooting, for instance. The next thing is the Easy Rig. Now, it's not that cheap, but it's not the most expensive either. This is my main support when I make films. I have the Minimax version because it can be used with a small camera. The Easy Rig makes it possible to shoot handheld for a whole day without it being taxing on your body. I don't use any other stability gear if I'm not after a certain effect shot. And to make this work, it's connected to my next piece of gear, a great handle. This one that I use the most, it's from Small Rig, and I love how versatile it is. I mount the Easy Rig on the handle and then I can also have a monitor attached to the handle. For the handle to work, you also need a cage though, and that's another thing that I wish I bought sooner. The cage makes it easy to mount things on the camera and the possibilities are endless. On a Pocket Cinema 4K setup, the cage is essential to make it a camera that's usable. If you don't have it, it's almost impossible to make it into a cinema camera. But I have a cage from Tilta, which also has a battery grip handle where my battery fits neatly into it, like it was meant to be built this way. Then we have the monitor. This is an essential piece of gear, and especially if you use the Easy Rig or if you're handheld, because you need to be able to tilt the screen and you need to put it in a different place than the camera is for the weight. And the monitor is possible to shift to wherever you need it. Today, most of them are really great. I use the Shinobi. I'm super happy with it. It's a solid version with SDI that I use, but I also have a HDMI version for a different Blackmagic Pocket Cinema 4K setup. Then we have my iPhone. Not only is this my most important filmmaking gear, where I will write scripts, I'll do research, I'll communicate with people, but today this camera is so freaking good that it's my secondary camera on many shoots. I could, if I wanted, shoot a whole feature film on this. I probably will at some point. But since it's more easy to use my film cine cameras, it's made for shooting only, so I use them. But I use the iPhone as a snapshot type of film camera. But for the running shots I do for the Craft Sportswear channel, it's a key tool because I can run around with a small camera with the best ultra runners in the world and still film them while doing it. And I see other filmmakers in this world of running with Ronin rigs, and I just wonder why? Why would you want to carry a crappy setup for 100 meters, then the runners are gone, while I can run like 30K with them with this setup if I wanted? Okay, so the next thing is pretty boring. It's a tripod. I hate tripods, but it's essential for interviews, so I need to bring one. But instead of traveling with a solid one, I have a lightweight solution from Sirui. It's possible to use it because I have a small camera setup, but I just love the Sirui. I don't know how you pronounce it. They're super light, and you can mount a small camera on a smaller big head onto it, and it doubles as a lighting tripod. And you can unscrew the leg as well to use it as a monopod. I just find them really versatile, and they don't weigh much, so I bring two usually for the same weight, as a regular tripod. Even less, I think. They're like, I don't know, a couple of 100 grams, I think. And these are so versatile, you can get low with them, and yeah, I just love them. But a tripod is not used often in my type of productions. But for interviews, good to have. Now, for the last piece of gear, I would not want to live without this. It's the Tentacle Track E recorder. This little recorder with a lav is my favorite piece of gear. I just love how versatile it is. First, it records in 32-bit float, which is high quality, similar to what RAW is for video. In 32-bit float, you don't need to worry about the levels. So for documentaries, this is magical. I've never messed this up. I've shot audio on speedway drivers for a whole season where it's crazy. Like 1 second it's roaring engines and the next time it's like quietness. But it works flawlessly. But it also records timecode and it syncs across other devices. It even syncs to my iPhone. I used this recorder on 10 speedway drivers during a TV show I did, and it was so easy to capture the chaotic situation, and I always had good audio. Sure, this is not ideal if you need to hear people talk all the time, but to get around that, when I needed to connect the audio to hear it, I used a wireless lav system to connect them to each other. This also creates a backup of the audio at all times. But even more cool is how I always record audio, even when the camera isn't on. It has changed how I film because it's so easy to transcribe things that it's not a problem that it generates like lots of audio content. That's not going to be used, and I can find the stuff that I want to use really quickly. That was my top gear that I don't want to be without. Now, check out my turn any camera into a cinematic camera cheat sheet. Link is in the description. It's gonna help you to, even with an iPhone or with another shitty Sony camera or whatever you have, turn it into a good camera.